Hey, g'day, it's Josh here from Physique Essentials, creator of the Elite Physique Project, and I'm joined here with one of my clients, Anthony. Mate, how are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, mate. Feeling good.
Cool,
Feeling
man.
great.
Cool. What's been happening in your world?
Besides work, yeah, work and more work. But
Yeah.
work in the gym, work at home, work with meals. Yeah, work all around, mate. Doesn't change.
Oh, look,
Life's busy, mate.
it's one of the things that a lot of the guys I work with and who reach out and all that sort of stuff. They're super busy. They've got a million and one things on the go, and that's one of the things that they find. They're just trying to balance it all out. How do I look after me? How do I look after do the gym stuff, the work, family, my million and one
Yeah,
other obligations, and not lose sight of my own health and fitness in the meantime. So
yeah, it's like that. But like you find at the start it's a bit tricky to juggle, but sort of you get a halfway through your program and it starts to get a lot easier, and then towards the end you're quite used to it all, and then you sort of get to the end and you go, shit, we're here already.
yeah, cool. And I think it's one of those things that it's the old saying, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. So
Yeah.
yeah, like so what's your typical day like when you talk busy? What's the typical?
Well, typical day up at 4:30 in the morning. Um, get up, have a quick coffee and quick shower, and get to gym
Yeah.
every second day. Um, get back, have breakfast, get dressed for work, head off to work, be at work by the 6:30, 7 o'clock mark. Um, phone calls, emails, work,
Yeah.
jobs, usual shit.
It's
Driving around all of Melbourne.
all the same stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and trying to, I've mastered the art of setting alarms on the phone so that I do remember to eat,
Yep.
which is probably the hardest thing. When you're so constantly busy,
Yep.
setting those time schedules. Before you know it, an hour can pass, 3 hours, 4 hours can pass.
Cool.
But just having those little reminders, hey, I need to have something to eat.
Yep.
Um, and that's what my body's gotten used to now is those little meals. And if I miss them now,
Yeah.
I'd
Oh yeah,
really
now
start to feel
your
it
body will
mentally and
tell you.
physically.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where we come from a point where we may need a subtle reminder in a way. So setting a phone as a reminder. And now what
yeah.
happens? Body will sit back and say, listen, you know what, we need to eat. So but let me ask, like, obviously, like you're just as busy, 3 months ago that you are today. So what was being super busy back then? What was the outcome like? Where were you at?
Um, Well, I found I was trying to sleep a lot more.
Yep.
Strangely enough, and I didn't think this would happen, but through the program, I've realised that initially the first couple of weeks of getting up and deciding whether I'm going to do AM or PM
Mm.
gym sessions, worked that out pretty quick. That AM's a lot easier to
Yep.
do. But once I got that regime happening, it was just everything sort of fell into place. Really, things beforehand was without the exercise. I still had the exercise at work, but without the physical gym work and the meal planning for myself, and reminding myself that, hey, it's not a case of I need something to eat quick, just stop at Macca's.
Mm.
It's like, no, protein bar now.
Yep.
No, chicken wrap, stop and get something healthier. And now I do feel big differences. Like if I stop and have a Macca's double cheeseburger, which I love, but if I
Oh,
stop
yeah.
and have one of those now, mate, I feel like shit for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. And I suppose that really hits home the aspect if we don't realize what normal feels like per se, or how long that we've been feeling normal for. You know what I mean? Like if that was a regular occurrence and you do that, a couple of times a week and all that sort of stuff, being
Yeah,
tired, lethargic, carrying that excess weight, that's just normal. And you don't know any different.
yeah, and that's exactly the way it was. I thought I was in pretty good shape for my age, and I knew I was carrying a few extra kilos, and I thought my diet was pretty good. But having the gym sessions sort of kick in, and then my body really not starving for food but wanting food,
And
uh, and then realizing I can't put crap food into it. It's an engine. I'm a V8. You know what I mean? You put your 98 in, and you get your 98 out.
100%.
You're gonna go and put your 95 in, mate. That's all you're gonna get.
That's the one,
Uh,
A lot of us, we want that, that Ferrari physique, but we're treating our bodies like a Datsun 180B.
yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's still good to have that, once a week, indulgence where or I found it was for me anyway, to stop and have that double cheeseburger, but know that I'd be having a greasy, sorry to put it this way, but a greasy shit in the morning
Yeah.
that really wasn't natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
You know, yeah,
yeah, it's just one of those things when it comes down to the consistency of, like, previous lifestyle, that, double cheeseburger or whatever it is, whatever the vice is, it might have been, a couple of times a week or a couple of times a day,
yeah.
to
It
where it's
was. It
something
was a
now
couple
where
times a week. You know.
it becomes structured, it becomes accounted for, and then it just goes to show that it can still be part of a plan. If that's what, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah. Look,
works for you and you
like
enjoy
you
it.
educated me. The education you gave me is like, yeah, I can still have that, but
Yeah,
realize there's work you got to do to get to the end goal.
yeah,
You know, if you put yourself back that little bit, it's that 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
yeah,
You know, that third step was the cheeseburger.
yeah,
Well, you know what? Now you got to go 4 steps to get ahead of where you were. You
yeah,
know, you just got to work at it and remember that you can have those indulgences, but you got to work them. You
yeah.
know, you're doing this program for a reason, and it's not just to get fat. It's
Mm,
not just to go to the gym. It's to trim up. It's to get a good physique. It's to look nice again.
yeah.
You know, be proud. I'm really proud of the way I'm heading. And like I said to you, you know, we've gotten to the end of the 10 weeks, and mate, this is just the first step for me. I'm not going back.
Cool.
You know,
And
the
that's
education sunk in, and the programming and the regime has been that simple that I haven't even realised how much it's reset my brain and my programming, the way I've been thinking.
and this is what it's really about. You know what I mean? It's not just about, coming into it and getting shredded or whatever, or just follow this program, don't ask questions, lift that, eat this, take this, whatever. Really, what I hope to do is give you then the tools and the opportunity to challenge your own beliefs. What's been normal? Why do I do these things? Can I do things in a slightly better way that would allow me to get my goal, but then also
Yep.
to create sustainability, or what I now call is scalability. And this to me, what it means is, like, to get to this point now and have that certainty and confidence. It's like, you know what, this is just, I'm getting ready now for the next step, the next chapter, not the, oh my God, I'm so relieved that this process is now over. I can go back to doing what was not.
No, mate. I got to that point where we got to week 9, and you said to me, you know, you can have a bit of a relax this week.
Mm.
See what you do. You know, you sort of gave me a bit of free reign, and I went to do that, and I actually thought about, you know, some of the foods and that I wanted to eat, and I did eat some of them. But at the same time, I still kept working. I
Yeah.
still kept pushing myself, going to the gym. Like, you know, I went to Knotfest, got my ribs absolutely smashed in the mosh pit at Pantera. But, you know, I had that energy. I wouldn't have had that energy and that ability, that strength to survive in the pit there if I wasn't doing the program. Honestly, mate, I would have been one of the ones sitting up the back watching the show and not living my life. You know, it was a bloody life thing. You know what I mean? Everybody wants. If you're a Pantera fan, you want to get in that pit. You want to survive it and
and
come out and go.
and you know what, like, you really hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, like, it's easy to think that, carrying a few extra kilos might just mean that you need to get a bigger shirt at work, or it might just be this little bit of self-consciousness, leaving the light on, all this sort of stuff. But it really does have an impact on every aspect of our life. A lot of guys won't admit it, but it can be the first thing that we think of in the morning. It can be the last thing that we're thinking of at night. And not only does it just affect things like, your own personal self-confidence, how you look and all that sort of stuff, but stopping you from, partaking in things that you want to do. It could have been
Yeah.
quite easily, like, if you hadn't done something and you fast forward, you rewind back, sorry, 10 weeks, and hadn't made that decision, you could have been sitting at the back of that concert. Or
I,
you
I
could,
would have. I
you
would
know,
have been sitting at the back of the concert. I knew that I had. You know, I was a stronger me. You know, I'm 10 times stronger than what I
yeah,
was. You know,
no,
I thought I was a strong fella. I'm working with steel every day. I'm
yeah,
lifting heavy weights and stuff like that without gym work. You know,
mm,
and then going to the gym, there was another thing, you know, educating myself to use the gym, you know, in a proficient way that's helped me gain this tone that I've got. You
yeah,
know, I'm at a point where, all right, yeah, most of my diet with your program was around the 70% mark.
yeah,
If I had have done the 90, 100%, I guarantee I'd be, you know, and I wish I did, but
yeah,
just sometimes life got in the way and we worked at it. But mate, I would not have even dreamt of going into that pit if
mm,
I didn't feel as strong as what I did.
cool, cool. Now, let me
Program.
quickly. I want to quickly touch on that in terms of the percentages and stuff, and compliance and things like that. And one of the things I really try and teach in terms of an ethos is, it's not about being perfect to a plan or being perfect to a diet or anything like that. It's about understanding a process. It's
Yeah,
understanding just the roles of food and also to our own personal relationship. We have these
yeah,
some beliefs and stuff like that. It really stems back from how we've been raised as kids, our cultural background, and all that sort of stuff. Our
definitely.
likes, our routine, our work, what our kids want to eat on a Friday night, what the wife says we're going to eat, all that sort of stuff. And we're just trying to be able to create this balance that essentially keeps everyone happy and also to being able to achieve the physique goals. And we can't
Yeah,
argue like with the results, no matter what. Like, we could say that some meals may have been improved here or there, but compared to, I know the discussions that we've had, what you've been doing, working on site, long days, all that sort of stuff, if it really just comes down to making the best choice possible at that time, then that's a win. It could have quite easily have just been the triple cheeseburger 3 times a day.
yeah,
You don't,
exactly.
you
But
don't
would
turn
have
around
had to go to
and
three
lose,
times a day too.
you don't turn around and lose 6.5 kilos of body fat, 10 centimeters off the waist, gaining a couple of kilos of lean mass by accident. You know what I mean? It is the outcome of deliberate and consistent work. And that's the most
Yeah,
important thing. And again, one of the other things that I've really hoped that you've taken from this is each week as we check in, we do some stats and stuff like that. And it's not just so much
yeah,
about me crunching numbers or anything like that. It gives you the opportunity to be able to stop and analyze your own work. How's it
yeah.
gone?
And
And wins.
there were weeks,
What
yeah,
have
there were
I?
weeks that they had some awesome wins that I didn't
Yeah,
even realise was happening.
yeah,
And you're talking too about lean mass and stuff. I've always thought losing weight was just about losing fat,
mm,
but then I realised, well, hang on, I'm gaining muscle, which is putting on weight.
yeah.
Um, so that original goal that we were aiming for, not that it wasn't achievable, but it just didn't become relevant.
Yeah, and,
You
and
know,
it's really really key that you just mentioned that then relevant because a lot of the guys, like I asked people, I said, what do you want to do in terms of goal? I can quite easily say over the last 20 years I've been in the fitness industry, 90% of the time it's I want to lose 10 kilos. And for a lot of the guys I speak with, it's just simply the way in which we articulate what we feel the current problem is right now. So when people usually reach out, I'm feeling sluggish, lethargic, I'm not confident, I'm not happy with who I am, I've got no energy, I want to be a better role model for my kids, all this sort of stuff. Then I turn around and say, well, give me something I can measure. Because I can't measure a lot of that sort of stuff. I can't measure the internal dialogue. So it'll be something like lose 10 kilos. Or in terms of a goal perspective, it'll be, well, I want to be trimmer, I want to be leaner, I want to be more confident. So if I lose 10 kilos, that'll be about right. But what I find as we go through that process, the number itself becomes a secondary aspect because what you actually achieve becomes so much more.
yeah, yeah. Well, look, I found that the number became obsolete.
Yeah.
Like even each week, when I got to the last 3 weeks, the numbers that I was hitting, all right, I was a little bit upset, but I realised the closer I was getting to being leaner,
Mm.
the less weight my body was, the less fat my body was actually holding.
Yeah.
But I was gaining more muscle, more
Mm.
weight. But all through all the years before I started the program, in my head was ingrained losing weight means losing fat, and that's it. There was no other education on lean mass. There was no other education with your dietary intake and even eating more.
Mm.
Learning that I need to eat more but smaller meals during the day. Just that alone helps the weight loss. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then you throw in, your calorie burning through your gym and then working out your calorie intake compared to that and
Mm.
trying to balance it out through the day. Like you can have a day where you can have an even Steven. Yeah, right. You don't lose weight, but your body will actually gain tone.
Mm.
I've looked at myself in the mirror the last few weeks, mate, and every week I look at it, I go, shit, I've got that muscle coming back. Oh, look at that. And that's given me more drive to say, the the end of our 10 weeks isn't the end for me.
No,
It's worth a push harder and further.
it's that's what I mean. Like what I want you to gain from this, it's just it's opening the key. It's the next step. It's
Yeah.
that level of self-confidence
What
and
have we
mastery where it's
got?
like, yeah, what do I want to achieve now? What can I possibly do? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you continue to multiply this, program after program after program, and again, it's just, you set goals, you understand what do I need to do physical wise. So what's the best type of work for me to do? What's the best way for me to eat relative to my goals, my preferences, my lifestyle? What are the demands at work? Is it, what are kids doing, all that sort of thing. How am I going to then best measure and track this progress to be able to hit that goal and then rinse and repeat and keep moving on? Because it's one of the things I shared right from the start. Like, this isn't about, weight loss per se. Like, you're not, even though it's a goal, you're not coming into this, hey, we're doing a fat loss program, whatever. It's really about identifying the reasons why that weight is there in the first place.
Yeah,
And if you can
yeah,
remove the catalyst, if you can remove the reasons why, you'll remove the outcome. You're going to lose it
yeah.
back. You're going to lose it incredibly quickly because there's nothing there keeping it, and then it's got no chance for it to come back. It's the only way that you can create a permanent outcome, unless you want to diet for the rest of your life. And no one wants.
No, that's the thing. It's about having a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
You know, I haven't felt this healthy, internally and externally. I think since my 20s.
that's
You know,
awesome.
the food that I've had and the food that I've been eating, like even as simple as replacing a meal during the day with a protein shake and a banana. You
Mm.
know, like I usually have my breakfast in the morning, and then the next meal that I'll have will be that protein shake
Yep.
and a piece of, you
Cool.
know, having that is something. But I haven't eaten this much fruit, I think, in most of my adult life
Yeah.
than what I 10 weeks that I've done now.
That's
And
awesome.
now I've got enjoyment with food. You
Yeah.
know, even going out for meals, looking at it and going, I used to go, oh, Parma's got to have chips. It's got to have, Now I don't even look at the Parma because I go, shit, the breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
all the carbs, all the extra stuff that means I have to work even harder to
Mm.
keep at the level I'm at now. I've
Mm.
become more aware about the food that I'm ingesting
And that and
because I
that's
know
and that's
every,
that's what it is. That's what it is. This isn't about hardcore dieting or anything like that. It's taking that element of accountability. We are very lucky, like being in Australia, we have got access to everything, but
yep,
that means good and bad. And that's it. And so much of this, it's society, I think, somewhat shames it. Oh, you shouldn't worry about the food you eat. Everyone's big and beautiful or whatever. But again, like what you mentioned about a car, like I know you're a car guy, and you can go down to servo and you can put in your ethanol or your E10,
yep,
whatever it is. You can put in your unleaded or you put in your 98. You're sitting there at
yep.
1,000. You can even try and put diesel in there, but you are able to make a valid decision. What is the analytically best decision I can make to support the
The
car?
lifestyle that I'm,
That's it.
yeah.
And that's it.
And the balance is from that is going to saying to myself, and how good do I feel now?
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning, jumping in the shower, having a look in that bathroom mirror and going, I like what I see.
Yeah.
Not going, oh shit, you're putting on some extra kilos there, mate.
Yeah.
It's a bit flubby, Um, I'm not at the body that I think I'm going to achieve,
Mm.
that I'm aiming for, and
Yeah.
that'll take me more time.
Yeah.
But at least I've got the tools now for the trade to
And
know
that's
what
it.
I'm doing.
That's it.
Um, First going into the gym, I didn't have a freaking clue on how to use any of the gym equipment.
Yeah.
You know, you've helped me now and understanding what PBs are and how they can actually benefit your workouts. So you don't have to have big, long workouts.
Yeah.
You can go in, you can smash out like I'm doing a half an hour, 40-minute workout now of a morning
Mm.
and coming out feeling really good,
Yep.
but at the same time hitting a few PBs because I'm pushing myself to do that.
Yeah.
I used to think you'd just go into the gym and you'd lift your 20 kilos because you're able to do that, and you'll do 20 reps and walk out, and you're going to put muscle on that way. No, you're not, because you're not pushing your body. You're not able to push that body to that point where it goes, I need to get bigger. I need to get more tone. I need to get stronger.
You need to
I've
go in
learned that.
there with a purpose. This is why I'm
Yeah,
here. And this is what I'm doing. And this is my plan. And I'm not here to piss fart around or anything like that. I go in, I get it done, and I get out. And again,
yeah,
like being super busy in that regard, like if I turned around and said, listen, we have to spend, I was talking to a mate of mine, he's doing 2.5 hour sessions. If I had to turn around and say, listen, you need to be at the gym at 5 a.m. and you'll leave at 7:30, it's like, this is a no deal. Like it can't happen. I got to get
yeah.
to work.
Look,
I've
can't
got
happen. Yeah.
life. I got other things
And
I
that
need to
was great. Like once I achieved the common knowledge of understanding what those workouts were that you were setting for us,
do.
and realizing how short they were and how much of a result I was getting with that short result, with that short time. Now I'm at the 10-week time and I'm going in like I did this morning. I went in, I came out 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't think I hit a couple of PBs, but I was still doing the same weight that I was
Look,
last time.
yeah, and
You know,
again, like you won't. you won't hit it every single day. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those things.
Yeah. You have up days and you have down
And
days, and
some days
coming down to diet too. Your diet too. I've found that the meal the night before
yep.
dictates how you're going to feel in the morning and how much more strength you're going to have. If you overeat, like I love my pasta once a week. If you overeat, I learnt this after about week 4, I think.
Mm.
That extra bowl of pasta that I was used to having, I just went, no, that's why I feel so heavy in the morning.
Yeah.
No, it's stop, because I don't want to feel like that in the morning at the gym. You
It's a,
know, it's just that process that you've helped me open my eyes to.
it's a matter of self-awareness. And it's you
Yeah,
do it's you become aware of what you've been doing. You become aware of what you continue to do in that regard. And as I said, like, things
yeah,
like self-awareness and accountability and confidence, it's just a very, very powerful thing. It puts you back in the driver's seat. I think we all, and again, it's one of these things, and I think especially as we get older, there's no, it's not like we hit 40 and if you look at what the marketing out there will tell you to believe, so your hormones plummet and you need to buy a special supplement and all this sort of shit. I
no
think
bullshit.
more often than not, what happens is when we start to get over 40 and things like that, it's just simply different responsibilities and different things that are chewing at our time. You know what I mean? And like, it's not like we're in our 20s anymore, and the only thing we had to worry about is rocking up the football, footy try, whatever, whatever cliche it is.
Yeah,
But
that's right. Yeah,
it's
responsibilities are a lot greater at this end of the scale.
careers and all that sort of stuff. And it's just
Yeah,
a matter of just, being very precise in what you're doing, getting in there and then getting it done. And that comes down to that level of awareness in everything. What am I eating? What am I drinking? How am I moving? What's the stress levels like at work? Sleep patterns and stuff like that. And it's just allowing you to be the best version of you can be. And again, it's not just about being able to get back into physical shape for vanity reasons or whatever. There is a massive compounding benefit. Like if you're simply better as a human, it's going to positively affect your work, your performance, your home life, everything. It gives you that.
yeah. Well, it has. It's affected everything in my life. Like,
Mm.
my wife's now got a gym membership.
How awesome.
That's something. We're starting. I'm starting her up. She's going to take her own plans of what she wants to do. I'm just starting slow with her. So we signed her up last week, which is great. Um, even my son's starting to get that way where he's talking about going to the gym with his mates because he's seen the results
Yeah.
that I'm getting. And I've
Wow.
said to him, mate, I'm happy to share the information that I've got, just these little bits of education that you've given me, Josh,
Yeah.
down to them.
And
It's
that,
going down.
and now I can draw emphasis to all the Star Wars pictures in the background. It's like Darth Vader now. I am the master.
Yeah.
But that's it.
But
It comes down to not only the transference of knowledge, because again, look, this is Pandora's box. No one will ever know everything. You know what I mean? Like I don't know everything. No one will ever know everything. But
but
confidence,
every journey starts with a step, mate.
that's it. But confidence goes a long way and certainty goes a long way. And when you start to your own belief starts to shift, and it's like it moves from I can't do this, I'm too busy, work's too demanding, I'll do it tomorrow, I'm too old, whatever. And it starts to go, I can do this, I am doing this. And
Yeah, I want to do this. Yeah.
and the best way to be able to move others in that regard, and like the best way to lead is just to set a really great example. So
Yeah,
obviously
and
you're
they're saying that like my moods are better now that I've got gym.
mm,
I've got better, because I'm eating better. My
yeah,
everything's better. Even now, like I'm doing gyms. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. I go to sleep at 10:30,
mm,
sometimes even 11.
yeah,
Still wake up fine.
yeah,
I never thought I'd be able to do that. I used to go, no, I've got to have 8 hours sleep
mm,
minimum. I've got to do this. Because I was eating shit. I was moving shit. I was not taking care of my body. I was not pushing myself in the right direction. I was pushing myself down, actually. I was probably putting myself into an early grave.
wow,
The way I was consuming food and the way I was just not taking care of myself and not being responsible for myself.
yeah,
Not saying, hey, Anthony, it's time to eat.
yeah,
I'd go, oh, no, I've just got to get this job done. Just got to get this done. I've just got to get this done. Before I know it, it's 6 o'clock at night. And then I'm eating a huge meal because I haven't eaten all day. The turnaround now is I'm eating all these small meals during the day. And I've still got all this energy at the end of the day. And I'm having a smaller meal at the end of the day.
yeah,
You know, waking up the next morning, feeling like I've got a ton of energy. Don't get me wrong. There have been the mornings where been still sore from gym where I have pushed those PBs and stuff like that. Or like at the mosh pit at Pantera, mate, it took me 2 days before my ribs had sit back in the right position. But things like that, you push through it.
Yeah.
I'm just a better, newer me, and mate, there's no way that I'm going to go back to the old person I
And
was.
again, look, even touching on that really quickly, like sometimes we want to have the motivation. We want everything perfect. We'll sit back and it's like, I need more time and I need to be motivated and all this sort of stuff. Some days are shit. Some days are a real struggle. You'll wake up that alarm will go off at 4:30. Let's be real. And it's like, this is shit. I don't want to get out of bed. But we do.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll often use the example. Again, a lot of the guys I work with run their own business, and I'll sit back and I'll say, listen, 6 o'clock on a Monday morning, you calling in sick because you don't want to go? No. So why would you call in sick when you're looking after yourself, investing in yourself?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to bring up because again, sometimes we think, it's got to be, peachy and rosy every single day. And the truth is it's not. But it's one of those things where you just put one foot in front of the other. And what I find personally is often those days are the best days. Like you get in there, I don't know what it is, maybe the expectations are a little bit lower or whatever, but I always have a great day and it sets me up for a great day. So
You get to the end too in those days, and you go, "I made it."
yeah.
I got to the end, and if it's meant, like I've got a saying, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I'm the only person that's going to make shit happen. You know
That's
what
it.
I mean? Nobody else.
Yeah.
No one else is going to get me out of bed. No one else is going to get me to work. It's me, and the end goal is what's driving me. So at the start of your program, I was umming and ahhing, and I didn't know what I was getting into. Go to work week 2, week 3. I felt I was lost. I was still following the program. I was still going, all right, so where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing with this? By week 6, I was starting to get a real idea of where I was going. I started to see, all right, I can achieve goals because by then I was seeing some real definition in my tone. I was starting to feel the difference. I was, like I said, staying awake longer, having more energy during the day. My moods were better. And just getting up to week 9, it's like, oh shit, we're at the end already.
Yeah.
Just I was starting to enjoy it, like really starting to enjoy where I am.
Well,
And
again,
then
like
you've sort of, it's up to
things
me
like
to keep going.
the enjoyment factor will only get better. It gets better and better as you continue to exploit your health and your fitness and the things that you can do. But just to touch on that really quickly as well, at the start, like struggling and kind of, trying to figure out your way, this still comes down to fighting onto that old you. You're holding onto it. It's like, because that identity that you had, being sluggish, overweight,
That
lethargic,
norm,
sort of
that
stuff,
norm that we got
you,
used
you,
to.
you knew who that was. It's somewhat comfortable. I don't like it, but I know this person. And you're asking me to change as a person. It's not just about, like, you've got to go to the gym a couple of days a week. It's like, you're asking, like, you're really turning that mirror back on. It's like, you got to own your shit. So
Yeah.
own your shit, figure out who you are, and then make some real changes. So that could be confronting. So cool. So we'll wrap this up. Let me ask you one final thought. So give me a final thought. So what would you say to anyone who was sitting on the fence right now?
Well, there's only one thing to do. You want that end goal. You want to change what you see in the mirror. You want to change how you feel every day. Get on, start the program. One step in front of the other, and just keep going. Just follow it through, and before you know it, you're a new person. You start seeing the world in a different light. You start seeing yourself in a better, happier place. I guarantee you will not. You get halfway through, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You get to week 7, you're doing great. You get to week 8, week 9, you're going, I just want to keep this going. This is not stopping because you're in a better frame of mind. You're in a better world. You're in a better you.
That's it. And it's not just about being in shape now. It's about being in shape for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it is. For me, for my family, for everybody.
No, man. Awesome. I love it. Thank you. All right. So again, I'm Josh, Physique Essentials, the Elite Physique Project. This is Anthony, mate. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And if you like what Anthony does, or you'd like to know how he started, it all started with my free training. You can click on this video down below or somewhere, reach out, I'll flick it to you. And we will go from there. Mate, thank you very much.
Take care of yourself, brother. I'll see you again soon.
Cool.